3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi New Life kids, welcome back today, and you have me, Pastor Carrie, with you, and we are going to talk about another fruit of the Spirit, which is joy. Now, have you guys ever had anything in your life that's made you really frustrated or angry? It happens. I know it happens, but just so you know, even when things get hard or make you frustrated and make you angry, it's still possible to have joy. Now, joy is different than happiness. Happiness tends to come and go based on your circumstances. If things are going really good for you and you're getting what you want, you tend to be happy. But if that situation changes and things start not going your way, it tends to go away pretty quickly. Now, for example, if you take you at the park, and let's say you hear the ice cream truck coming, and so you run after that ice cream truck with your money, and you get up there and you pay the man for your favorite ice cream cone, and you're so excited to eat this ice cream cone. But then you have a little brother. Your little brother comes along. He knocks that ice cream right out of your hand onto the ground, and you just watch it melt away and disappear, and you don't get to enjoy your ice cream cone. Now, I'm sure when you got that ice cream originally, you were really happy about it. You were excited and happy you were going to get what you wanted. But as soon as the situation changed, that happiness probably went away pretty quickly. But joy is so much more than happiness is. So joy never goes away. And joy is happiness that comes from God. And it's happiness that comes when we trust God and when we believe in His promises and we believe in what He says. That's when we can have true joy. Now, there are two men in the Bible, Paul and Silas, and they chose to have joy even though they were going through some pretty tough stuff. They were thrown into prison for telling people about Jesus. And even though they didn't deserve it, they did not deserve to get thrown into prison, they still chose to have joy because they knew God's promises to take care of them, to never leave them, that He had a plan and a purpose for their life. Because they believed in God's promises, they still had joy, even though they were going through a really hard circumstance. Now, when we know God's promises, we can have joy no matter what comes our way. The Bible says in Psalm 28:17, "The Lord is my strength and my shield. I trust Him with my whole heart. He helps me and He fills my heart with joy." Such an amazing verse. But to have joy, we have to choose to put on joy. It's kind of like having this jacket. Now, the joy that we put on is not our joy, it's Jesus's joy. And we have to choose to put that joy on. It's not just an automatic. But the problem is, sometimes our feelings tell us not to choose joy, but to choose other things. Sometimes our feelings say to put on frustration. And sometimes our feelings tell us to put on complaining and grumbling. And when we choose to put on things like frustration and grumbling and complaining, all of that leads to an all-around bad attitude. Now, there are a lot of people in this world walking around with a bad attitude, but the problem with having a bad attitude is you're stuck. Now, if Paul and Silas would have chosen to have a bad attitude when they got put into prison, they probably would have lost all their hope. They would have felt really hopeless. They would have never had joy or happiness in their life, and they would just be stuck. They wouldn't see a way out. They would think that they were stuck there forever. But because they held God's promises in their heart, they knew that He was going to take care of them and He was going to provide a way out. Now, even when things are going right, we have to choose to put on joy and not the bad attitude. And we have to do that by remembering God's promises. And one of my favorite promises in the Bible regarding joy is, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." It's one of the greatest verses in the Bible. And when things get really hard in my life, I say that to myself, "The joy of the Lord is my strength." It helps me and it keeps my heart filled with joy. Now, the more we choose to put on that joy, the more that joy is going to grow and grow and grow. In the Bible, it says, John 15:11, "I have told you this so that you will be filled with joy, and your joy will overflow." Now, I am going to show you what it might look like if your joy overflowed. Now that was overflowing. And that is what our joy would be like if we choose to put it on, if we choose joy. But the difference with God's joy and happiness is God's joy never runs out. It's never empty, and the best part about it is it's contagious and it can spread to everyone in the world all around you. And it's a gift. Joy is a gift from God, and it's like a fountain that never runs dry, and almost to the point where you can't help but share it with other people. So when your feelings are telling you that your joy is not there, I want you to dig deep, because it is there. Your joy is there. It's a promise from God that He will give it to you. So dig deep in your heart, find your joy, and choose to put it on. And you can watch those frustrations and that angry feeling that you feel inside. You can watch those feelings start to melt away when we choose to lean on God and His promises and believe what He says, and that He will help us to have true joy. Now, there is a story in the Jesus Storybook Bible. This Bible, it's an awesome Bible, and it illustrates joy in a really great way. I want to read it to you right now. "God is my shepherd, and I His little lamb. He feeds me, He guides me, He looks after me. I have everything I need. Inside my heart is very quiet as lying still in soft green grass in a meadow by a little stream. Even when I walk through the dark, scary, lonely places, I won't be afraid, because my shepherd knows where I am. He is here with me, and He keeps me safe. He rescues me. He makes me strong and brave. He's getting wonderful things ready for me, especially for me, everything I ever dreamed of. He fills my heart so full of happiness I can't hold it all inside. Wherever I go, I know God's never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love will go too." So kids, the one thing I want you to remember today is that joy is your gift. It's your gift from God, and you choose to put it on. And when you choose to put it on, you are going to be contagious, and you are going to let that joy of the Lord spread to all of your friends and your family around you. So make sure today you choose joy and just watch what God does in your life. It's going to be amazing. Praying for you guys and excited for the rest of the Summer Bible Challenge. I hope you guys are participating with us. It's going to be a ton of fun. If you haven't started yet, you can catch up. It's not too late. So make sure you get online today, you get your devotional, and we will see you next week. Have a great day.